Hi, welcome to my channel, MariaHeartsYarn. In this video, we are going to be crocheting a Princess Poppy Trolls hat. You will need a 5mm crochet hook and a number 4 medium weight yarn. To begin, we are going to start with a slip knot. Then we will chain 3. We will take the tail and we are going to make a magic circle. We are going to yarn over, insert into the magic circle, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert into the magic circle, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the last 3. We are going to do this a total of 10 times. So yarn over, insert, yarn over, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, insert, pull through 2 loops, yarn over, pull through all 3 loops. Now we will pull the tail tight to close up the circle. Now we are going to slip stitch into the first cluster stitch from the first row. We are going to slip stitch and then we are going to chain 3. In this row, we are going to do 2 cluster stitches into each stitch around. So this is going to be a total of 20 cluster stitches for row number 2. So 2 in the same stitch, and then 2 in the next stitch. Then we will slip stitch to that first cluster stitch from row number 2. Slip stitch, chain 3. Now for this row, we are going to do 2 cluster stitches in the first stitch. And then we are going to do 1 cluster stitch into the next stitch. Then we will do 2 cluster stitches into the next stitch. And then we will do 1 into the next stitch. And we are going to repeat this around for row number 3. Then we will slip stitch to that first cluster stitch and then chain 3. Now in this row, we are going to do 2 cluster stitches in the first stitch, and then we will do 1 cluster stitch in the next 2 stitches. So 1 cluster stitch and then 1 cluster stitch into the next. And then we will do 2 cluster stitches in the same stitch. And then we will do 1 cluster stitch in the next 2. So 1 cluster stitch and then 1 cluster stitch into the next. And we are going to repeat this around for this row. Then we will slip stitch to the first cluster stitch. Chain 3. Now we are going to do 1 cluster stitch into each stitch around. Then we will slip stitch to the first cluster stitch and chain 3. Now we are going to do 1 cluster stitch into each stitch around for a total of 8 rows for the hat. After completing our 8 rows, we are going to slip stitch and chain 1. In the first stitch, we are going to do 2 single crochets. And then in the next stitch, we're going to do 1 single crochet. Then we will do 2 single crochets in the next stitch, and then 1 single crochet. And we are going to do this pattern all the way to the beginning. We will slip stitch to that first single crochet. Now we are going to join our light pink yarn. We are going to do a slip knot, and then we are going to do 1 half double crochet into each stitch around. We will slip stitch to that first half double crochet. We will chain 1, and we're going to do 1 half double crochet into each stitch around. We are going to do this a total of 4 rows for the baby pink. After we complete all 4 rows, once we get to the beginning, we are going to slip stitch, and I like to chain 1, and then we are going to cut our yarn. Now we are going to cut the hair to add to our poppy hat. You will cut 24-inch long pieces. What I like to do is take a 12-inch binder and wrap the yarn around. Now we're going to take our scissors and cut the ends. So now here are our pieces. Now we're going to get our hat, and using our crochet hook, we are going to insert into that single crochet row of the hot pink stitches right before we switch to the baby pink. So grab your yarn, grab the ends, and then loop it through and pull it tight. So we are going to do one piece of yarn into each stitch around this bottom. Now flipping our hat over, we are now going to do the green headband. We are going to start with the slip stitch, and we are going to do one single crochet all the way around to add this headband. We are going directly in the same spots that we just inserted all of those pieces of yarn hair. Then we are going to slip stitch to that very first single crochet, chain one, and we are going to cut our yarn. Now we are going to move on to the bangs. And what I do is if I have any left over of the 24-inch long pieces, I like to just stack these, and we're going to cut 8-inch long pieces. We are now going to insert our crochet hook into the same stitch that we did for the first yarn hair. Now we are going to insert one piece of yarn for the bangs right underneath the headband. Now we are going to move on to brushing the hair out. This is the brush that I use. It is a cat brush, and it has wire bristles. We are going to carefully start close to the headband. Try not to get that green headband or else it can pull the yarn apart. So carefully, just slowly work at it and it will turn the yarn more smooth. We'll do the same thing to the back side. Here is my rubber band that I'm going to add for the ponytail. Straighten the hair out as best that you can. Now what I like to do is go back and brush this ponytail hair with the rubber band in there as best as possible. Go slowly and gently, and that will make it fluff up the best. Now we're going to move on to the bangs. I add a piece of paper between the bangs and the hat. I group the sections of yarn together like this and do little by little at a time. Moving on to the ears, we are going to do a slip knot, chain 1, make a magic circle, and we are going to do 4 half double crochets in this magic circle. we're going to pull our tail tight and do a chain 1. Now, turn our work and working along the other side, we are going to do 2 half double crochets into each stitch across. This will be a total of 8 half double crochets. Now we will chain 1, turn our work again, and we're going to do 2 half double crochets in the first stitch and 1 half double crochet in the next. Then 2 half double crochets in the next and 1 double crochet into the next stitch. Or I'm sorry, half double crochet. Then we will chain 2. We're going to do 1 double crochet and then we're going to do 6 single crochets. Then we will do 1 double crochet and then we are going to do 2 triple crochets in that same stitch. Then we will do 2 triple crochets in the next stitch along with 1 double crochet in that same stitch. Then we will do 1 single crochets to finish off our ear. Cut the yarn to leave enough to sew it onto the hat. Trim your tail. There's one. Make the other one. Now with our yarn needle, we are going to attach these ears onto the hat. I secure this onto the inside of my hat, weaving back and forth throughout the stitches before cutting the yarn. We will now attach the other ear. I'm going to weave our tail end of the hat in and out throughout the stitches to secure it. Now I am going to double knot the green headband yarn. Using my crochet hook, I'm going to pull the yarn onto the inside of the hat. Then I will trim these yarn pieces. Now I have a piece of blue yarn, and I'm going to put this over top of the rubber band that we added earlier. So just wrap it around, tuck it in. Now, grabbing our flower petals that I cut in felt, which will be available on my Etsy page at MariaHeartsYarn. I'm going to add hot glue to secure our flower petals. This is my hot glue gun. I absolutely love that it is cordless. I got this off of Amazon. Now right over top, we're going to add the blue petals. And you don't have to use a hot glue gun. You can secure these with a needle and thread. So after securing the middle of them, I go back and I secure them more down underneath, just to add that extra security that the petals are not going anywhere. Here is our finished poppy hat / wig. Please do not forget to hit the like button to show me that you enjoyed this video. You may also leave a comment. I hope you enjoy, and I hope this helped you. Don't forget to visit MariaHeartsYarn.etsy.com. See you next time.